OPGG is one of the most popular and favorite toolkit type websites within the League of Legends community. It is the de facto choice for most players to look up the accounts of other people, look at their stats, match history, and get a pretty in-depth analysis as to what they play and how they've been playing over time. There's also lots of statistical information you can gather not only on champions, but players who play them, popular builds, and matchup information. The list goes on and on. There's clearly good reason why OPGG is so favored by the community, but I wanted to touch on something that not many people think about when it comes to it. For many players, OPGG can actually promote really negative behaviors and environments, and it's come to the point where I might actually recommend players to stay away from it at times. Why is this the case? Why is it that we get so obsessed about having a 60% win rate climbing up to our rank, and then when we don't anymore, we just blow up the account, say it's doomed, and start a new one? We, not just as players, but as humans, love to compare ourselves to each other by nature. We just don't know how good or bad we are at something unless we have something else to compare ourselves to. And for a league, OPGG is the digital ruler for the giant dick measuring contest that is solo queue. And this is what makes the website so useful yet so distracting at the same time. It's very easy for players to get caught up in the numbers and literally base their entire worth of another player off of their win rates and trends in their champions. It's genuinely painful to see players get tilted in champion select because their OPGG client or professor told them that a player is a big tilter or isn't that good at a certain champion. It turns out truly winnable and perfectly fine game lobbies a lot of the time turn into ones that are just randomly toxic and start off in the worst way possible. And the worst part of all of that is that looking up someone's win rate or stats just sets expectations for both you and the enemy that are meant to be broken. Sometimes players will get scared of someone who's a one-trick or has a high win rate right now, and many players will actually tilt themselves when they queue into an enemy team that has a higher elo than them. It creates all these stupid expectations and narratives and reasons for why a game is won or lost, and it turns a normal game of League of Legends into a full-on mental circus. And I think that OPGG is promoting this kind of behavior. This is not to say that there's anything wrong with the website at all. Rather, it's quite the amazing tool, and there's so much insight that it can bring as well. However, we're only drawing the wrong information from it, and this in turn causes us to think about all of these things. When it comes down to it, 99% of players aren't really going to benefit very much from knowing these stats at all. In fact, I would argue that having this information and focusing on it will only detract from the important things you need to know in your games, things that will actually help you improve. If you're a silver or gold player with a great KDA and a beautiful looking OPGG, and you feel entitled because you're being held back by your team, just stop it right there. I can honestly guarantee you that this isn't the case and that there's more glaring issues in your gameplay. There is no player that would play absolutely perfectly and have amazing stats and simultaneously be stuck in a low elo because it's just not possible. You wouldn't be in that elo. There's something somewhere within your play that's preventing us from understanding and improving upon that, and we use our OPGGs as a shield to victimize ourselves into thinking otherwise. This is a big issue that stints a lot of players, and one that isn't easy to overcome. But being able to recognize this and focusing on having excellent play rather than excellent stats will be core to enabling a higher level of play. I do want to take a moment to give some more credit to this representation of OPGG just to clear things up. I do think that in some cases, there are trends that allow you to draw some decent conclusions. Some of them may be obvious, and others may not be as such. An example of this is actually if someone else decides to judge someone in champ select based on their OPGG and then creates this lobby of toxicity. In these situations, you should treat the game as doomed already before the game starts, and it is no longer considered a healthy game of League of Legends. In these cases, you should just immediately dodge the game and look for a new lobby, because I can guarantee you that there is nothing of value to be gained if that game were to play out. Another one is if you can see their recent match history and if that person has tendencies of soft inting on the day or clearly queuing off role and otherwise not trying to win. You can also use this information to avoid a potentially toxic game. This does not mean you dodged a 49% win rate RE1 trick because they're below 50 win rate. These situations usually have clear signs that a player is not in their normal play state, and it is in these situations where you can try to avoid the lobby altogether. So hope this video provides a bit of a reflection on how you look at OPGG in the future, changes your perspective on how we treat the website, and how this information can help improve your relationship in the game in a sense. That's all from me from this one, and I will see you in the next video. Stay fresh.